Hey, this is Hardline, Destructoid's video game news podcast. I'm Jordan DeVore, and that guy over there is Hamza Aziz. I don't know why I'm laughing. Say hi, Hamza. we st-
No, go away.
Disclaimer: we before we started recording, we were talking about some really weird shit. So I'm still dwelling on that. And that's Steven Hansen. Hi, Steven. And Brett Macedonsky is with us too.
Go away, Jordan.
I wish I could go away and not be tied to this, because it's not been a great news week.
Wow. Jesus.
I'm just saying, it's like you were saying the exact same thing 5 minutes ago, Hamza. So
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great day to be alive. We get to talk about
I
video
love
games for a
my
living.
podcast website show.
Yeah, but you have a smoothie, and that changes everything.
It looks gray. Is it gray?
Yeah, I think that's the blueberries.
Oh.
Okay. Steam sale. Sorry, Hamza. It's one of those days. I have bought one game, Far Cry 3. What about you guys?
No games. I won.
You're
the
winning,
Steam sale. Yeah,
Goose egg.
boy.
Goose egg over here.
Actually, I've literally never bought a game in a Steam sale, so I'm winning like for life.
Are you a PC gamer though?
Yeah, I mean, I game on the PC as much as anywhere else. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Rich guy Steven just is above sales. He only buys.
He only pays full price.
It's a status thing.
He wants to support the game industry. Unlike you heathens.
It's the funny.
I have bought 0 games from the Steam sale. Also,
that's funny because you're the one doing all those posts for us on Detoid.
On every single post, I actively encourage people not to buy any games.
Really, I haven't been reading them. So.
Yeah.
Hamza, he uses awesome movie header images, and I look at that and I'm like, well, I'm satisfied. Next piece of content. I don't need to read.
I, in general, just actively tell people not to buy games.
I haven't bought anything either, but that's largely because there's nothing I want. I played a lot of the selections that have been on offer on sale, or I either own it already from past sales or just past whatever.
It's really the saturation of games that have been on. It's like they're getting really cheap, but that doesn't matter if you own them. That's why, like, literally the only thing I bought was a game that I should have bought a long time ago, Far Cry 3. So I'm exactly with you there. The funny thing is, though, I didn't even, like, as far as supporting the games industry, I bought it for like $3, and the rest was from selling cards that I got for free on, for voting on things. So
did you make your money back by selling those cards?
No, I have done that before when cards first rolled out, but that was crazy times. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Actually, I almost bought Gunpoint because it was $2.50 and I had $2 in card money, but then I didn't. And I almost bought Battle Block Theater, but then I couldn't get anyone else to buy it and play with me, so then I didn't.
You made the right choice for that. That game is best played in co-op, I think. But
I've actually been working on crafting my badges because I'm an idiot.
What do you? So I haven't really looked at the gimmick for this sale, but what is the end game for crafting here? What are you getting out of it?
I just like when my experience goes up, my level. I like bigger numbers next to my name.
What are you crafting?
I mean, traditionally you craft like a badge that goes in your profile.
What do you mean?
It's just like a JPEG that you are given.
So like you make a picture in Paint and you what?
Jesus, we're not going to spend this podcast
about?
explaining badges to Steven. We'll be here all day.
Steam cards or something. Some bullshit related to that.
You guys are weird, dude.
That's why I just sell them, Steven. I don't put me in this. I'm out of that game. I got my experience up.
One of the things that you get is a token to boost your team's points. Except Reddit is controlling who wins those every day anyways, so it's...
and it's only
I sell those.
Okay, I was going to say the tokens are kind of like a scam because isn't it 30 people on the winning team get 3 games from their wish list for free?
Wait, is that Bitcoin thing people are talking about?
It might as well be, Steven. It might as well be. Anyway, the chances of winning the token thing, are so slim.
No, they're not great. No.
Whatever. I mean, that's the Steam sale. It's gotten to that point where it's just so routine at this point. I mean, I don't know. Good way to get cheap indie games, I suppose. But what do you guys think about Mirror's Edge 2?
Man.
Steven, I agree with you. Tell us about what happened recently, if you would.
I mean, DICE head man started talking about the game and how they're working to refine the first-person combat and not just make the same game again, but make Faith for a new generation. Blah, blah, fucking blah. And it just doesn't sound, like, good. I mean, to be fair, it just sounds like a little bit of marketing PR fluff, which might not have any sort of impact on the final product anyway, but I don't know. I want a Mirror's Edge game that's kind of like the first one, but without the bad stuff. Not this...
the bad stuff being combat, right?
Yeah, not this ham-fisted attempt at, like, rebranding and rebooting the whole thing, and I don't know.
What about the new generation, though? You're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the new generation.
That's such a hilarious thing to me, is how... well, because previously with technology and generational increases actually gave birth to new mechanics, to new genres, to new styles. You know, you went from 3D, and you had open world games became popular when open world was a thing that people could do. But I don't know what new genre is going to come out of being able to render 200,000 wolf hairs on a wolf. Like, there's no there's no like next gen trend yet that is actually a different thing instead of just doubling down on last gen.
Yeah.
It sounds like our combat is going to be more visceral. So,
so great. I mean, that's what we all wanted, right? I'm with you, Steven. It's like the gains are all going, or not all, but much of the gains are going into increasing visual fidelity as opposed to things like AI or physics or things that could, I don't know, lead to different types of games. Exactly, experience-related things, yeah.
Well, Alien Isolation's doing some new stuff with AI that looks really good.
I haven't really been following that game.
As much as I love that game, and it's amazing, like, I'm not sure, but like that's still sort of an extension of a lot of existing things. I think Metal Gear Solid does a pretty good job of adding in some new stuff to existing formulas, but it's not quite the same. Just like, okay, it's this but more. I don't know.
Well, the problem is that no publishers have really gone all in on new consoles yet. They're all kind of splitting the gap between old consoles and new consoles. So
even Alien is PS3 and Xbox 360.
It is, yeah.
It'll be another year before we see just new gen only development.
Yeah.
Are we going with that new gen? I think Game Informer coined that term.
How about current gen? Because that's what it is.
That's what I've been saying. I've switched over to current gen like 100%.
How about Gen and the holograms?
Yeah. Can we switch to that, please?
Aren't they making like a reboot of it or something?
Are they?
Like
I think there's a movie, isn't there?
A movie or something, yeah.
I think there's going to be a live-action movie. Because now's the time, guys. Now's the time. They saw all of our gem headers on D-Toy and were like, you know what? We should bring that back. DICE also had a weird thing. This is, I guess, going to be an EA-centric episode, but they've just been saying really dumb things this week, so it's like I can't not gravitate towards it. That's the same guy. I think the same guy as the Mirror's Edge quote story. That guy also was like, there's a story going around about how they don't quite get why people like Bad Company 2. I don't know if any of you played that. Did you play that, Brett?
No.
God dang it, I knew this was going to happen. I'm the only one who's played it. anyways, it was just like they can't pinpoint why people like that series, despite people wanting it to be brought back, and it was silly.
I would assume it's just because of the story, which was very lighthearted, not serious.
It's not though. It's not though. That's not. They actually understand that appeal, which is pretty. I would hope so because it's pretty obvious that that's fun. But
what's the issue?
Let's ask the resident expert, Jordan. Why do we?
I'm no expert by any means, but I mean the multiplayer was different than the last couple Battlefields have been. It was its own thing. The maps weren't terrible for Rush. What, Steven?
That whole quote just feels like slight incompetence. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Accidentally made a really good game. We don't know why you liked it. We're gonna just try something else.
That's funny because that's EA's motto going forward.
Like that's the Dead Space series. Oh, we accidentally made a good game. Let's just, I don't know, make it more action with microtransactions.
Electronic Arts, slight incompetence.
Oh God. That's basically why the story went around on the blogs, is because it's like, really, they don't know. I mean, they freaking made the game, for crying out loud. They should know as well as anyone what was different and good about it. But
it's because somewhere along the line, EA decided that instead of leveling a building yourself, people would rather play an on-rails roller coaster where a building falls down around you and you just walk through it.
Yes. And then bring that into multiplayer, and it happens the exact same time, exact same way every time. Yeah. And while we're on EA, they also talked about Battlefield 4 being unacceptable, its launch, which is just like, okay, EA, thanks for saying that, but
a year later,
what are we supposed to do now? Like, is that going to change anything? No. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that whole situation.
Fuck Battlefield.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way at this point, especially with Hardline.
Yeah, I was about to say Hardline, the game, not this podcast, the game. I don't know. I'm getting more and more of the feeling that it's just they don't need to do a whole nother like retail release of this. It feels like it's Battlefield 4 with cop elements, skins and whatnot, and.
Lots of people are saying that too.
Fetishization of police shit. Like, oh my God, what the fuck?
I guess that's not the worst fetish you could have.
No, but of like,
Brett.
I'm talking about what we were talking about earlier.
Can we just leave that instead?
God, no, just the whole fucking war on crime bullshit and like. Also, you're in LA doing robberies and there's no people around, really? Come on.
That was my biggest issue. Well, that was a big issue I had with the beta where, going off of Hamza, it just looks and feels so much like the games that already exist with different names and skins applied to everything. It's just like, exactly, it's still empty. Who cares if it's in LA proper? Might as well not be the way the city's set up in the game. I don't know.
I think it'll just be geometric blocks.
Exactly.
I think it's too big too. Like for getting that cops and robbers element, like Payday nailed it. Whereas this just, I don't know. It just feels like another multiplayer, large scale map over bank robbing.
I mean, it's kind of funny when they announced, or when it got out that it was going to be Battlefield's version of cops and robbers. That kind of gets your imagination going, and that seemed like a good idea, and I think it can be a good idea, but the execution I don't think is there.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. It's just...
I felt lost in the beta, too. Like, I wasn't really sure what I'm doing.
And that's, not always a good thing.
Yeah.
For given the map size, but... I really wish we could just talk about diaper fetishes. That's what we were talking about before we started. It was so good.
I don't like whatever we were introduced to in the chat with the pregnant eating people thing. I don't like that.
I don't think our viewers need to be filled in on this.
Those were weird, man. I don't need to see that.
When news is slow, the people who work for Destructoid share very strange links with one another. Let's just say that. And you would not want to be exposed to this stuff. It's very, very weird.
Well, we sort of exposed them to some of it with our Sonic post earlier this week.
Yeah, you know what? We should actually talk about that. That was actually interesting and fun. So we found out it was Sonic's 23rd birthday, and I don't even really remember how it got to where it got, other than that we did that weird Kirby post the other week of drawings of Kirby in the MS Paint. And we kind of did the same thing with Sonic, but we also introduced erotic fan fiction. As you do with Sonic, I mean.
It's Sonic. What are you going to do? You got to do erotic fan fiction.
I really wish.
There was not enough Bible verses, though, in the drawings and in the fan fiction. Because that's a whole another part of the Sonic subculture, is like all these weird biblical Bible verse quoting.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I'm honestly not familiar with that at all.
Why
and how?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's your favorite Sonic Bible verse, Steven?
Yes.
I don't know.
My favorite is all the fan-made characters of Sonic.
God, as soon as you guys like brought up doing like a Sonic fan fiction tribute to this birthday and everything,
we're nowhere to be seen.
I fucking checked out. I was like, nope, I don't want to be a part of this. Peace out.
The fact that you weren't there, I was kind of like, I hope Hamza is okay with me saying they can do this.
Oh, I was totally okay.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
We kind of
I
just
still want
did
to be
it.
part of it.
Yeah.
What
enough.
Britain wrote was not totally okay.
Yeah, no, that was not totally okay.
I didn't even read any of it, so.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, I had no intention.
No, wait, read mine though.
No.
I like mine.
No.
I like them all.
I only read fan fiction once, and that was Dragon Ball Z fan fiction in middle school or high school. And it was good fan fiction. It was like continuing the story after the fact. I wanted more Dragon Ball Z story, and this guy provided. It wasn't like Goku banging Android 16? 17. Whatever. Either one, I guess.
Both of them.
Both of them at the same time. With his two tails.
What? Goku has one tail, okay?
But this is fan fiction. Anything is possible. Anything.
Oh my god, right.
When Goku has a baby with Tails, the fox from Sonic, and then their baby has two tails and grows up and is Goku Jr., and then it has sex with both the androids. That's what fanfiction is, Hamza.
The thing that's funny about this Sonic thing is that I think some of you have discovered you're secretly very good at fanfiction. I mean, I read all of them, and some of those are kind of long. Brittany's is very long.
She did it really fast too, which makes me think she might have written it before.
I don't know how she came up with that on the spot. That had to have been brewing in her head for years. Anyways, if you haven't seen it, I hope you go. If nothing else, if you see nothing else on Destructoid this week, go find that stupid Sonic post. It's called what was it called? Celebrating Sonic's birthday the only way we know how, or something like that.
Something like that.
Can we do a special where after this episode, a couple of you do a dramatic reading of one of them? As a throw-in?
I don't think we could get through that. I couldn't.
Max should
I'd have
read
to do
it.
it myself. Can that just be a video? Max reads
reading all of our
supply.
Sonic fan fiction.
I think we would lose everyone on our channel if we did all of that.
Or we'd get all of the viewers ever. It's a
The
risky
whole
bet,
Sonic
but-
fan base.
He did that once for Pokemon fan fiction, and it was a huge hit.
Was it now? I feel like we would alienate the Sonic people because they might think we're making fun of them, because we kind of are.
I thought my Sonic fan fiction was very thoughtful.
I thought so too. I just want to make it clear we're not demonizing anyone. We may not understand their ways, but you know, they exist. And that's okay.
I like that your contribution, Jordan, was just an up-res version of an actual sprite from a Sonic game where he looks like he's in bondage.
It was the best Sonic game, by the way, Sonic Spinball.
Originally,
second best Sonic game,
So-
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
my whole thing with that was originally I tried to draw some stuff, and then I was like, I cannot top Kyle's contribution. It's just too good of Sonic as a hot dog. So I gave up on that, and then I was just gonna do something related to Sonic, or Sega needs to make a goddamn Sonic Spinball 2. And then I was like, well, I'm going to look at the sprites, and what is this? Sonic is like just hanging there with his butt in the air. Up-res that done. So,
Kyle's picture was really, really good, but it almost didn't get included because he didn't want to be associated with all that dirty fanfic.
and yet he tweeted it. That's the best part.
Since he tweeted it, I made an executive decision, and I just included it without asking him. Oops.
I'm sorry, Hamza. I have failed you this episode.
Sorry that we're talking about Sonic and not Dragon Ball Z.
We could.
Oh my god,
Let's not, though. I do not want to. We could talk about one other story. Actually, I don't know. Do we just want to call it?
This podcast went in a way different
Let's just
direction than we
end
thought it was going.
This is what happens when there's not a lot of compelling news stories to talk about in depth. I'm sorry.
Everyone needs to go to masturbate now.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't. I gotta get out of this room.
Was that a suggestion or a command?
It was stating the obvious.
Okay, let's end this. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, God help us all. But thank you. I said sorry on this. I said sorry on that Sonic post, and people upvoted it as if to say you shouldn't be sorry. So maybe the same thing will happen here, and people will weirdly like this. But if not, next week will probably be more normal. We'll be back Thursday or Friday for another episode. You can find more videos on youtube.com/dtoid. You can listen to the audio version of this if you don't want to look at us on iTunes. If you search for Destructoid Hardline. I don't know why you wouldn't want to look at this great Skype window, but thanks for listening. Perfect. Just sigh.
You guys are weird.
That was dumb.
Is that how you're ending it?